Hello and welcome to the channel. Today we'll do a quick look over the mining craft and a variation of it using what we've covered so far in both conveyors and thrusters. Now, as you can see here, we have the default miner. It's fairly well set up. It's a very sleek profile. You have no chance of hitting anything on the sides of your tunnel as you're mining through. It does have some redundancies though, however. Now the battery backup is a good idea in general, but it's actually not necessary on a short-range mining craft, and when working in survival mode, if you're building your own craft, you'll find it's a kind of a waste of resources at this particular point. They also have 4 total small reactors on it. Now that's a bit, well, frankly, it's too much. You only need actually 2 on there. You could probably get away with 1 as well, but 2 seems to be a safe bet. As for thrusters, it's very minimal. They have pretty much 1 in every direction and 2 going forward. They have their antenna, the ore detector, gyroscopes as well, of course. The light is more or less a cosmetic addition, but on some of the custom skyboxes, the shadows are a bit darker, so you will actually need the light. As you can see, it comes in at a total of 7,474 kilograms. With the 7 thrusters and only 1 gyroscope, that's all you'll pretty much need on a craft of this size. As your craft gets larger, you will need to consider adding more gyroscopes to keep it maneuverable. Now you see the fuel time at idle is 69 days. Now, fully active, which I will have to go ahead and map the tools here. Alright, fully active, that comes down to a total of 4 days, which is, of course, plenty of time, and that's assuming you have a full store of fuel for your reactors. And of course, they're using a medium cargo hold on a connector. Now, what we have here is basically a streamline of that design that cuts down the extra armor blocks on the side that they put on for cosmetic purposes, since you won't actually need those armor blocks. We have 1 gyroscope, 1 ore detector, the antenna. We cut it down to 2 reactors rather than 4, no battery. Not only is it shorter, and it's the same height and width, but it weighs in at 5,521 kilograms. It does have 1 additional thruster, since I have 2 forward and 2 back. As you'll see, they alternate. Unfortunately, the fuel time does not seem to be updating on this, rather because we don't have fuel loaded into it. As you can see, it's highly maneuverable. And even with tool shake on, you do get a fairly decent hole board here. You should not be hitting around on anything. You get rid of that uranium and iron. Now the premise for your initial mining craft design, particularly in survival mode, is going to be to use the least amount of resources required to get a decent mining craft that pulls a good hull. Of course, you'll want to use your cargo hold and a connector, so you can connect it to your station where your refineries and assemblers and everything will be. The antenna is important to keep the craft not only listed for you to locate in case you have to park it somewhere, but also to keep it in the game. As particular settings, it will remove craft that are neither powered nor have an antenna. Now the ore detector, obviously, as you saw, lets you see the ore inside the rocks. And ideally you want to go with at least 2 miners, because that gives you a good basis for your hole to dig through, or rather a wide enough hole to dig. Now you can go with 3 or 4, or of course even more as you progress. The light, again, is not necessary in default settings, but it can be a nice feature to have. As you can see, we're definitely not using a battery on this one here, and I will go further into the various power methods and why we are not using a battery in this case in later videos. I hope that helps you design your first mining craft, and as always, have a good day.